Hey, have you ever considered changing the floor pan in your classic car all the way from front to back all in one piece? You've never ordered one? I'm going to show you what to expect if you do. So if you're interested in seeing what this is all about, hang around. Hey, welcome to another episode of Restoring Christine. Well, in this episode, we're going to be reviewing a floor pan and a rocker panel. But before we get to that, I did want to say a few things. I've been getting more and more comments on my videos, and I do appreciate all the thumbs up and all the subscribers and new subscribers that are coming to us and discovering the channel. Appreciate you watching. But somebody asked me through a question. They gave me a comment and they said, hey, I apologize, I don't know your name. So. My name is Bill Thomassie. I realized that all through the videos I've been doing, I just took it for granted that my channel had my name out there, and it doesn't. It says Restoring Christine. It's a sub-channel, should be a sub-channel to my primary channel, which is just me, but I'm building Restoring Christine as its own channel to stand on its own merit. But anyway, that's me. My name is Bill. So if you want to address me directly in any of the comments, for good, better, or worse, that's my name. So anyway, let's get going on today's episode. So this is a space where Christine had been stored since 2018. So she's been here for 3 years, and this is where I used to keep her, and where I noticed that the rust was starting to flake off. It was leaving a trail underneath both the rocker panels on both the driver's side and the passenger side. So this warehouse is where she was housed. It's also where the 71 Cutlass hangs out when it's off season, and it's also where I've got a little 11-foot Glen L Squirt runabout. I built this during COVID. This is a 12-month little project. It's only 11-foot long boat, and it's got a Johnson 18 horsepower 1958 model motor on the back of it. So that's a pretty fun little project, but it's not just the car stuff and the metalworking stuff. It's anything in the garage I will do. It doesn't matter if it's wood or if it's metal or if it's gears or wrenches. It doesn't matter. But one thing I did want to say is, if you look, this is what it looks like to have the 56 Bel Air completely torn down. All the parts for the 56 are all scattered about in here. I've got everything that goes to it right here. I've got all the fan shroud, radiator headers, headlights, front light bezels, some of the ductwork, alternator, shifter components, master brake cylinder, hood hinges, bumpers, grill, drive shaft, front seat, back seat, and also that's a plexiglass mirror panel that I had underneath the hood, and it looks really cool at night when you put light on it. Got the radiator cradle, all the interior steel that goes around the doors and the windows, the gas tank, which will end up being chucked because it's too much junk. I've got bags full of all kinds of various electronic components and small little things. I've got my center caps and my beauty rings for my Corvette rallies. I've also got all the stainless steel is all here. It's all marked and set aside. I've got a lot of interior parts and bags that's set aside. I have the interior, some of the panels for the rear package tray that's here. And some of the window parts, and the glass is all here too. So this is where all the parts are. That's every bit of Christine that is not in my garage. It's all sitting right here in this warehouse. So if you've never ordered a floor pan before, one thing that shouldn't be a surprise, it's a big object that comes in a big box. They don't ship this via a regular mail carrier. This comes in a big truck. It comes truck freight. This box is maybe 5 feet this way, about 6 feet the other way, and it's got the entire pan in it, from almost the firewall, from right where your feet are on the floor, all the way back to the rear axle hump. They sell this. I don't remember the price that I paid for it, but shipping is about a couple of $100. So you gotta keep that in mind. This was actually drop shipped directly from the manufacturer. It didn't come from the factory, it came from some wholesaler. So I ordered it from Real Deal Steel out of Florida. And Real Deal Steel is the Tri-5 company they're Tri-5, and they're also, I think, classic Chevelles and Novas, but and Camaros. But they sell like they can sell you the whole car. You know, you want the entire brand new body for a 1955, 67 Chevrolet, it's the whole car. So I'm thinking I'm ordering it from them and I'm getting the pan, and maybe it's from their own tooling centers, but apparently not. This is Golden Star Classic Auto Parts. This is the exact same make and model, or the same manufacturer that made the floor pan that I got for the Cutlass. So I'm expecting to know what's in this box. I haven't even cracked it open. I've had it for months. In fact, water got to it. The box is a little bit wonky. But we're going to go ahead and get into this box. I'm going to open it up and then show you what it looks like on the top, inside out, upside down, front ways and back ways. We'll go over the whole thing. So let's get started. Well, you have it. It's in the box. Just got it open. Get it open the rest of the way, but it looks like this is the bottom. So I thought I was opening it up with the top side up, but I guess I didn't. I guess I opened it up backwards. But big old pan. And you can see it's painted black. You know, this is that's what I was talking about. If you saw the review that I did on the door skin, or the rear, no, not the door skin, the rear fender panel, quarter panel. So it was like, you know, stamped steel that wasn't painted black. It was gray. And, you know, so this is painted black. When I show you these lines, you'll see what I mean. These are going to be super crisp lines. This material, you know, I don't have a gauge with me, but I mean, this is pretty thick metal. This is not, that impresses me to be about every bit as thick as what I've been welding with, which is all 18 gauge material in the rest of the car. What I've been doing, but let me get you in here for a closer look. You see where the pan is. I've got it situated. I'm upside down. So this is the bottom side of the pan, and you see the transmission tunnel side, firewall side. I'm sorry, transmission tunnel side, rear axle side. Comes against the rocker panel here, the rocker panel on the other side. It does not come with the rocker panels. I'm going to show you that in a second. I did bring one with me, because I ordered that separately too. But you see it's got a flange and a forward edge. It's got all the braces in it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 braces. These forward 4 that split the transmission tunnel only go part of the way across, and then the one at the 2 over the drive shaft go completely across in the back. It's got really nice crisp lines. It's got good welds. Pretty solid little piece. Now I've been welding with that metal on every bit of the body work that I've been doing. It's all 18 gauge metal. I don't have something with me to measure how thick this is, but I'm pretty sure that this is as thick as what I've been working with. This does not impress me to be a super light gauge steel. So, you know, it's got crisp lines. And this is when I did that review of that quarter panel, that's one of the reasons why I was disappointed in it. It just didn't have crisp lines, and this one does, you know. So, you know, here's a part number on it for 1956, or it's 55 through 57, floor pan complete with braces for a sedan. So apparently there's a difference between the convertible hardtop and the sedan, but this one says it's for the sedan, and that's what I've got. It's a postcard, right? So I considered buying it in pieces, and I decided, you know what? There's so much work in this pan, and if I can just go from one edge to the other edge and from rocker panel to rocker panel, I'm going to be saving so much time. It's just worth spending a few extra $100 to do it. That's what I decided to do. So let me get this thing flipped over. Okay, now we got it flipped over. Then I might look a little more familiar to you. So this is the top side. Now you can see the transmission tunnel, the drive shaft tunnel, and where it rides up and comes up to the rear axle tunnel. You see where that gives you some material. Now I don't have the car. I'm not with the car, so it's got me some material up in here to make a splice some sort of which way. And I'll have to find out if that's a factory splice or not, where that is. But it's a good looking pan. You can see all the spot welds from the top. I'm sure the light's picking up the shadows. You can see them, all the spot welds for some of the braces underneath. And, you know, on on the Bel Air and Christine, you know, there were panels that were back here that were already patched, or all kinds of things going on. I didn't know what I was dealing with. I know when I pull the seats out, these were all messed up in the floor. And you can see what happens is there's these two fall. I don't know if you can see spot welds, but there's a spot weld. So this is directly over brace, and there's your seat mounts. It's two bolts already, two nuts already set in here. There's two nuts already set in the backside. And that also falls within one of those two stiffener beams underneath. So if you have to repair this, and you're buying a panel, you know, if you buy a patch panel, it goes from here to here. You buy it in quarters. It just, I don't know that it makes sense to do it. I would just prefer to just do the whole thing from soup to nuts and be done with it. So this is I think it's worth the money. I really do. Now look, I did bring a rocker panel. I brought this with me. So I did order this. Now this, even though it's silver, and I know I was saying something, the difference between the silver parts and the black parts. The parts are painted black when I reviewed the rear quarter panel. But this is actually a weld-through primer. So this is a better part, and you'll see this. This is going to mount right on the side, and it lines up really, really well. You know, all the way from front to back. I've got it flushed up against the bottom. I've got it flushed up against the top, and it fits. So when you order the floor pan, it's going to come with this, what they call the inner rocker panel. You have the outer rocker panel, which is this piece, and the inner rocker panel, which is here. So the floor pan will come with the inner rocker panel. You don't have to do anything more. So when you order, if you order rocker panels and a floor, you only need to order these two parts. Well, three if you're going to do the other side. But you don't need to, when you look online and you see you're checking out what's in the catalog, and you're going to see rocker panel, and then it's going to say, well, here's the outer rocker panel, but here's the inner. When you buy the floor pan, the inner is integral with the floor. It's already welded in. So you don't have to worry about this. Now, if you watched my video where I was repairing the rear quarter panel, there was a channel that I replaced, and I want to say it's somewhere over here. And I replaced that channel, and I'm wondering if this is part of the floor. If that piece that I replaced, that I put in before, if that's not already on this floor. So I'm going to find that out when I get to the car, but I think that it's not. I think that this is the floor channel, and I'm pretty sure that that comes behind the rocker panel. I'm pretty sure when I get to the car, I'm going to see that I'm on the opposite side here, but when this rocker panel is on, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be another piece that is right here. But I did the other side. So we'll know that when we get to the car. But there it is. It's got these rear mounts back here. These are all welded in. So these body mounts are already welded in. You don't have to recover those from yours, you know. It's got that. It's already punched and dimpled at the front for these. See if I can't pick it up and not drop the phone. All right, here it is, what it is from the bottom. You know, it's a good looking part. Not sure what this is, but it's already got brackets like this. I think that's probably for the passenger, not the passenger, for the emergency brake cable maybe. That little bracket. It's got all these little things, you know, little doodads already welded to it. And to me, that's worth the money. So if I'm doing it, which as a matter of fact, I am doing it, you know, just, I think it's worth it to go for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera on the car, and I'm going to go back to Christine, and I'm going to show you what it looks like underneath the car. I'm going to show you where all of these little parts are. I'm going to show you where, you know, it potentially ties in. But since the car is not here, I got to do that from home. So that's what I've got to do next. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, now I'm back with Christine. So back at home, And this is where we're doing all the work. We're doing it at my home garage. We're not doing it at the warehouse. That's where my tools are. I mean, you've seen me in my videos. I've got junk everywhere. It's just I've just got a lot of stuff in a little small space. But it's just I just know how to work in this space. This is my place. Leave it alone. So anyway, here's a floor pan. This is Christine, and you can see this is what I was dealing with. Now, if you tuned into the channel and you caught episode 2. Episode 2 is called Back from the Blaster. And that's when I got Christine back from the sandblaster. And that's the point at which I discovered maybe 80% of the evils that lurk within. I knew about 20% of it. The rest of it, I really didn't know it was this bad. So this is the floor pan that I'm dealing with, and I don't want to, I didn't want to waste any time with it. You know, I've got holes here in this side. I've got holes up in the corner. Passenger side's horrible. I mean, if you look at it, you can see clean through the floor. It's all the way up in this corner, back here, all the way back into this corner. Then there's holes back here. There's a patch panel. I don't know, somebody glued in something or epoxied in. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's Bondo even holding that in. Not even sure. Then, so back at the back by the rear, you have the rear axle, and that's the 2 body mounts. They're back there. And then I also mentioned when I was in the warehouse, let's see if the light will get it, but I welded this in, this little tray. I welded that in when I repaired the quarter panel, and I was concerned when I was looking at the warehouse, I was seeing a little trough, and so there's a trough at the edge of the floor pan, and I'm looking, and nope, there's the trough. So that trough is here. So the flange that I welded in, or the tray that I made as part of the quarter panel repair, that's in one of the more recent episodes. I'll put a link up here to that. But I made that as part of that repair. And it looks like, yeah, that does flush up with the rocker panel. So the new floor is going to come up to the edge of the rocker panel. It's going to come up to the edge of that. And looking towards the front, there's the seam, the body seam that goes from where the floor pan goes up, makes this corner, and it's flat, and that's where it rides over the transmission tunnel, and there's a flange. There's a hole. I showed you the flange maybe on the floor pan at the warehouse, the new one, but there's the flange. This flange goes right here where there's some body seam sealer. And this flange, you can kind of see right there, this flange. Isn't it nice to be able to reach in from the bottom of the floor? But that flange goes all the way from the kick panel to the kick panel, all the way over there. And that's where the weld's going to be. I'm not quite sure how to do it yet. It'll probably be spot welding from underneath it. And who knows? I mean, I don't know. What I might do is, in addition to spot welding, just to keep those 2 flanges clamped together, what I'll probably do is I'll also put a bead all the way across. If not a solid bead, I'll definitely put at least spot welds. So let's see if did I show this yet. Pan also has the nuts that are embedded for the seat here and here, and if you can see, that's where, you know, all this is rotted out. It's on both sides, and that little beam just holds material. It's like that on the driver's side and the passenger side. Let's see if we can get underneath the car and show you what that looks like. So now I'm on the floor, and I'm looking up, and I don't know how much the light's going to do, but this is my passenger side. A total Fred Flintstone. Hello. You can see the beam. You know, this beam is just eaten up. And if you can get that all in the floor pan, then go ahead and do it. You can see the frame has a kicker that comes out right at the forward edge of the rocker panel, and it's got a beam that comes out, and that's where one of the floor mounts are, right on the inside. So I pointed out the 2 dimples that were on the floor pan when I was in the warehouse and looking at it, and there's one right there, right there, and that goes to this beam underneath. So it comes off the frame rail and it kicks out towards the door, and there's a body mount right there. Look at all that. You can see all that. It's difficult to see underneath the car. It's just dark. I don't have the car jacked up. But hopefully that, hopefully that helps out. So let's take a look at a few more things. Piece of trivia. You'll notice the floor is torn up where the floor shifter was. You can see they kind of just gouged it out. But this is originally a manual car, okay? So Christine was originally 3 in a tree with a 6-cylinder, the straight 6. I know that because it's got the 6-cylinder. It's got the 6-cylinder radiator mount. So 6 cylinders are longer than the V8s. So the radiator is on the forward end of the bulkhead in the front of the motor. So that goes from fender to fender. There's a bulkhead, and the radiator position on the front is the 6-cylinder position, and that's what Christine has. And also, it's got the manual. It's got the factory clutch pedal. So I know this is a factory manual car. It was 3 in a tree. It most certainly was not 4 on the floor like it is now, because Chevrolet did not offer, if you ever see a 5567 Chevrolet with a floor shifter, that is completely a retrofit, not available from the factory. I don't know if they started in 1959 or 1960, 61, somewhere in there, but the full-size Chevrolet did not have the floor shift until one of those years. Certainly not the Tri-5. 567, no, forget it, they don't have it. So you're gonna find something like this. You're gonna find, that's why that floor pan that I have is solid, and it doesn't even offer a blank or anything to come out for the floor shifter, because it just didn't have it. That's about it for the floor pan. So, guess we'll close this one out. So anyway, I'm gonna be out for a little while. I'm not gonna be able to work on the car for the next couple of weekends. So, but anyway, I do thank you for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you like the videos, please give me a thumbs up. Appreciate all the comments. Looking forward to building this channel. I'm looking forward to getting this car out of the metal phase. Man, hopefully we'll be painting it by spring. If we can be painting it by spring, we'll be doing the interior by the summer. And again, man, cruising the coast next October. Please, please, please. I want to go in Christine. I want to go in Christine. This is such a fun car. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Cheers.